Now I come to tell you all that as we're continuing this video series, I've moved a few things around, including the camera, so that you can kind of see me painting a little better. But we're going to continue to work on these a little bit. We've already gone as far as the hat ruffle, the face, and the beard, and then we're going to try to do a little extra work here. And if I find that, well, yeah, here it is, the vanilla cream paint, and we're going to try to make a little extra work come into this, and then we will kind of make it so we're going to paint these little sleeve cuffs here and kind of have the extra work go into it. You will notice when, even though it's hard to tell on the camera, that the vanilla cream paint separates a little bit from the plain white that is used for the beard, and it's just a little extra work that's put into what we do and make it so we will see how it's going to come at the end of the day, brighter and everything, and see how you see how we kind of got it there. And I'm gonna add a little to this other cuff as well when we come down to it. And so as for the work in doing this, it's going to make us see a little brighter ways, brighter days in all we are coming to do. And so as of this work here, we made it so it comes out as good as it just can be. And then finally we get it all done up to the cuffs. We say there's probably little places where it's smudged out a little bit, and we're gonna take care of that eventually with a little sandpaper. But we're gonna go ahead and try to work on this other set of sleeve cuffs as well, and that's how the work shall be when we all get done here. And make it so we're seeing a little brighter truth to us. And oh, all the work is coming this way. And bless the child of day, and oh, the light of day shall come into us and make us all see sweet faces. And oh, like old Saint Nick, you know, he was always known these days for his old sweet spirits. This is how we've come along here. I think we're going to do a little work on the back as well, and try to make it so we're going to work on this little ruffle that is back around the belt here, and to make it so it's going to be great and all. And oh, the likes of this work, I say, it's coming this way, making us all see how we know and see how we do. And oh, blessed child is just obvious. that's how we got it coming along back there. I think we're going to try to add a little more time to this video by working along this other one too. And so, as for a little work, we doing this thing, make it so it's all going to be the better way we see in coming in our work now. And oh, for a little work that comes to us, making us see how our brighter days come into us, and I say little work makes business go better. I'll tell you that there's a little moment here where, you know, we're going to have to rinse out the brush eventually, but just came on to show you all a little more of how the work gets done. I think I might stop the video right here and give things a moment to dry, and perhaps come back and sand over the little places where paint got out of line a little bit, but we'll take care of that when we come back. Thank you. Well, this was the moment I decided I'd come back on just to show an additional step. It just so happened that in the break I decided to go ahead and sand away the places where the little smudges got off, but there's a final step I'm going to take and show here where I'm going to paint along the ruffle at the bottom of the Grandfather Frost skirt. So that's going to be a little work to take in here and try to make it so it's going to be a last worthy thing, and make it to where when we come down to the work, we're going to see a little thing in here and in it where we're going to try to work our way about it and around it. And so as of now, we're coming along this way, and we've got a little place where we make it come out a little bit more to the way it's going to be and ought to be, and then drive it down to the point where it's all going to be a good thing in the end, because that's where this little piece of work has to come in. And so, as for the way we go about this, I say that this is the work that makes its way about us, in us, and through us, and to the point where we finally get the hem all painted up, and there's an extra little work we do along here. Of course, this is going to have to be sanded afterwards, but I'd say this is the part that is going to matter the most, because the painting is the part that gets to be the most important of all. And then once it all gets done, it's going to show the little details and the differences in the pattern, and it's become a thing for me that I do all this stuff using the natural grain and colors of the wood for most of the carving, and see how, as of the way this is all going to turn out, you know, brown little Santas with brown little coats and hats and sleeves, and I'd say we got the work coming this way to us, and of all things, a little work in our hearts and souls is going to make us see how much further along little bits of work are just going to come, and then we're going to kind of put this away, and I decide this time around, even before it dries, might just go ahead and do the little sanding off around where the paint blotch gets out on the hem of the skirt, and even for the places where it's gone a little out of line, try to put a little extra work down into what we do and make it so it's going to brighten its way into us. And I say there's going to be a place where we're going to line this all up when it comes down in the end, make it so it's going to see its way to us, and we're going to kind of have a little work come along this way. And as for now, we kind of got to thin out the lines and make it so it's going to be a little brighter ways and brighter days, and shine its way into us and make us see a cool little light of day come to us. And there we go, make our ways. And I say there's going to come a moment when, with all this work, we do what we do. And I'll tell you a little bit more about the Ukrainian Santas. I've taken pictures of them and sent the pictures by social media to a local church that has connection with Ukraine, and kind of asked them if they had a use for them. They might have seen the message but hadn't responded yet. Apparently they might not be able to do something, but I will say of all things that I'm sure it's going to work out somehow. God has a purpose in it all. Makes all things work together to those of us who love Him. And I do want to say that the holiday season is busy. Even when I was younger, I shopped while I was working full time and dealt with the traffic, but things just get a little better over time. And you know, you get a little older, you get used to things, you get a little bit more involved and have a little bit more to share with those around you, and you get to the point where sometimes you just probably get a little less Scrooged as the older you get. You just kind of get a little bit more involved. And I mean, I've just always made my presents homemade for people, you know, never really shopped much. I probably did when I was working more time and didn't have as much time to make stuff, but these days I'm just freer to create and can make stuff to sell, make stuff for gifts. It kind of keeps me busy enough in life, and there's just a lot to share over time, more that's going to be said, more that's going to be known. And as for this moment, I'll tell you all that I plan in the new year to kind of make better business, kind of make better sales, try to get a little bit more stuff out and about where it can be seen. We don't know what kind of shows or events are going to come in the coming year, but we've got those to prepare for, we got those to look forward to, we got those to think about, and when the time comes to do it, we're going to take care of all that. I do think the Grandfather Frost will be like the Ukrainian Santas, where I'll have to paint the eyes separate from the video, because that's a little bit of a harder piece of work and a little harder to do when you're on camera, so I'm going to need a little more concentration with that, so y'all might have to bear with me on that one. And of all things, I say that I hope to be back around, hope to come back to see you all soon, and hope before the holiday season to do of some sort another video. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.